Alright, hey there guys, Ado Takasi here, aka JediBro95, coming at you guys with another video. In this video is going to be a simple solution to solving post scores that nobody is talking about, and truth be told, I didn't honestly think about it until I saw somebody on YouTube talking about it. And when he talked about it in his video, I was like, damn, the solution is really that easy for 2K. I don't understand how they just haven't done it, or as we as a community think about it. And once again, the solution is just simple: get rid of make it take it. Okay, like it's that easy. Like I understand some people might be questioning my theory, but hear me out. Here are the reasons why I should say get rid of make it take it. Number one, it puts post scores in a position they don't like to do, and that's play defense. When you play against the post score, majority of the time they're going to upgrade everything, like when it comes to finishing and then shit like that, and then they're gonna put up their weight so that way they can get as high as a strength as possible and shit like that, so that way they can be strong enough to back you down under the basket every single play. But the problem with that is that if you upgrade your weight, your lateral quickness and your perimeter defense, or I think it's just your lateral quickness, I think it was, your lateral quickness takes a hit. And besides, even then, big men don't even upgrade their lateral quickness like that unless you're a pure defensive center pie chart with points to spare. So if you got rid of the ability to, if you made them if you got rid of make it take, it's what I'm trying to say, and you force them to play defense, suddenly they're now in a position where they can't keep up with you and keep up with fast guards and pick and rolls. Because let's say, for example, you're using a pick and roll and you're putting your man in a screen and roll situation. Let's say, for example, the game starts and it's 0-0. Okay, you put yourself in a pick and roll and you have the ball first, and then you get the first basket. You get a 3-point shot immediately. These guys come back down and hit a post hook for 2 points, and then you get another three, and now it's 6-2. At that point, the game's over. They're not coming back in the game because they can get all the post hooks they want, but unless you're just willing to sacrifice those post hooks and try and get 3-pointers, you're realistically not going to win the game because like now it's 6-2, they get a basket and it's 6-4, and then even if you're just trading twos for the rest of the game, they're not winning. So realistically speaking, there's no reason to ever ever to post hook in that situation again unless you're like got a lead and some shit like that and you get hit your threes. But even then, you take away the post hooks from the people from them, and then you make them have to shoot different shots that realistically having them to depend on their teammates, which a lot of people in this game, let's just be honest, a lot of people in this game, unless you're a play shit, which majority of the community is, you're just not going to be effective. And if you surround yourself with a perimeter lock, well, they're not going to be consistent from three this year because that's just how the game is designed. So you put yourself in a post lock situation, all of a sudden now you're having to put yourself in a situation where you have to rely on your teammates to make shots, and perimeter locks can't really shoot consistently this year unless they're using the shot stick or they have their wingspan all the way down. So yeah. Secondly, you can just, as I alluded to, you can just turn them into defensive liabilities because you could just keep abusing them on defense, putting them in situations that they can't defend, whether it's an isolation on the perimeter or pick and roll with using their man as the screener because they can't laterally keep up, and then now you're getting clean shots all game and shit like that. So it's really going to be difficult for these post hookers to keep up with your ability to score and your ability to be able to get consistent shots at the basket or consistent threes, especially considering that a lot of bigs in this game, they don't come out to the perimeter. They stay back in the lane. And so if you're playing on a great shooting build and you go up with a three, you use a pick and roll and you go up for a three, they're not coming out. So you're more likely going to have an open 3-point shot. And if they do come out, guess what? You could just keep rescreening and hiding behind the screen until you get open. I know I don't like people hiding behind the screens, but I'd rather take that. I'd rather see and take that over people just abusing a broken mechanic in the game all fucking day, which is a post hook. I think guys like Ticino would feast on people against post scorer players in that situation. I think a lot of competitive 2K players would take the game more seriously once post hooking is completely irrelevant because they're not having to consistently use the same shot over and over again, and you could just feast on threes, and then they can't come back. So, yeah, I think that is a complete. I think that's just the best way. And you're probably wondering, well, then why? Like, that's a terrible idea. Like, why would don't get rid of make it take it? Pardon me. Well, I just got something in my throat. There's a couple of things to that. One, if that's the case, why why should we keep make it take it? Because in my opinion, it's old, it's outdated, it's time for something new, and truth be told, it's one of the reasons 2's gameplay is boring because nobody plays on the other side of the ball to prove that you actually deserve the win. In my opinion, I fucking hate watching 2's gameplay. I really do. It's so goddamn boring. It's the same shit over and over again. And sure, you could say the same thing about NBA 2K in general, but 2's especially is so boring to watch. It's literally just playmaking shot creators and paint piece all game, hiding behind a screen until they get an open three. And then if you're wondering, if you're still questioning my thought process, then riddle me this. How come I never see post scorers dominate in 3v3 Pro-Am or 3v3 Park or in Rec Center or even in competitive Pro-Am 5v5? How come I never see them dominate? Because the reason you don't see them dominate is because they have to play defense and they have to get the ball back. And so therefore, all those things I talked about earlier, they are in that situation and they can't keep up. I've only seen maybe 2 post scorers in games that don't have make it take it. The first one I saw was in the Rec Center. It was the beginning of the year. Mind you, this was the beginning of the year, so it doesn't really count. I would think not, but hey, you never know. So, yeah, I would say that, it really doesn't. But anyways, so yeah, he dominated my buddy Crest, but the problem with that was the fact that he was like an 81 overall with like no badges. So of course he should win that. He should dominate that matchup. The second one I've seen was in a competitive Pro-Am game, and unfortunately I didn't cop the gameplay because I completely forgot to do so. But in that game, we dominated them. Like, they had an interior force at the center position, and we smacked them around, made them look foolish. Because they tried to go after my buddies with the post score, using their post score on my big men, and we kept getting threes, we kept getting fast break layups, fast break dunks, fast break threes. We used them in a pick and roll and we did a lot of shit to that center and forced them to play defense, and so therefore we ended up just dominating them because it was just never a contest because they just got put in a situation that they weren't comfortable in. But anyways, that's going to be basically my thoughts on how to fix the post score problem. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section below. Like if you did enjoy the video. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. And with that, gentlemen, I'll see you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.